Hey there, everyone. Welcome back. So the last playlist was about Organize Simple. Hope you guys liked it and enjoyed, and that was too intense. So this video, or maybe I might break down this video into multiple parts. So I just wanted to have a series of videos, which kind of acts as a generic template to deploy our applications that we are building on this channel. So the gist of this is I would like to show you how professionally a production level NextJS applications deployments is done. Okay, so that is the main gist of this application, so which is going to be generic in nature. So let me just say what is this about. So I just wanted to convey this. So this is how to professionally deploy a production level NextJS application. So this is the main goal of this video that I would like to convey. Okay, and this is going to be very advanced, and I hope you have an access to AWS account, and is some part of the idea what is Terraform and all. So as I already talked about, I just wanted to say here what is it that I'm going to use this. Okay, so let me just so here let's say the components I'll be using to deploy. Okay, so here first thing, let's just say everything the infrastructure will be creating on this AWS cloud provider. Okay, and I wanted to have this, let's just create in here. Let's just create here. Okay, so the components that we'll be using to deploy, or I'm just going to highlight here. First thing, everything the infrastructure that we wanted to deploy is going to be on AWS. Okay, since that is the leader in cloud provider as of now, so just wanted to go use the cloud provider which is used most among the community out there. Okay, so here I'm just going to use this AWS cloud provider, and I just want even the deployment process as a template, as a code for us to be reusable for us in case we wanted to switch our cloud provider, or in case we wanted to have that deployed into different regions or different availability zones. So for that I'm just going to use this Terraform, which is infrastructure as a code technology or tool, you can say. So I'm just going to choose this. So let me just mention this as infrastructure as a code tool. Okay, and to automate our continuous integration and continuous deployment, and kind of I wanted to dockerize our application and then store it in the remote image repository, and then pull that from there, and then then automate the process of pulling it from there and deploying it on our servers. Okay, for that I'll be using this GitHub GitHub Actions. Okay, to have this CI/CD pipeline, you can say for now. Okay, roughly these are the things that I'll be using components. Okay, so this was what is it, the technology that we'll be using to get this thing done, or to deploy our application. So now, talking about the infrastructure level, there are core important components that we must know, and that is part and parcel of every deployment or infrastructure that we'll be creating. I would like to break down those into two components. One is about the network related components, and other is the you can say it as compute related components. So let me just have this, let's say this is like let me just have here briefly talk about this. Okay, so this is going to be about this network components. So here I will break down this also into sub points. Wherever we talk about network, the first things that comes to us is like the CIDR and the subnets or availability zones, you can say it. Okay, so the core components that will be part of any deployment or application, as far as I know or to the knowledge I've gained over the period of time, is going to be the subnets. It can be again, I'm just going to mention in here the subparts, the public subnets, which will be publicly accessible to the internet, and other is the private subnet, like let's say we wanted to restrict the access to our DB or private servers, which close the access to the public. Only we want a part of our application servers to access that, and that is where we will use this private subnet to put those servers into respectively. Okay, so that is the subnet. Okay, so at high level I'm just going to I'll go in depth down the line. Okay, whenever I'm drawing the architecture of our deployment, this will be very complete in-depth video, so don't have to worry about that. Okay, so now I'm just trying to give you the overview or the gist of what is it that this video is going to be about. Okay, and next is the NAT gateway. So this is kind of like helps our private resources, whatever we are trying to hide from the public, to communicate with the internet from within the virtual private cloud or the VPC that will be having our resources in. So this is very important, the NAT gateway. So it's better to keep each NAT gateway in our respective public subnet in each availability zone or whatever. I'll walk you through that. Okay, and next is the access control list. Okay, so this is going to be, so let me just name this as network access control list. So this is nothing but like an ingress and egress configuration to our servers. Let's say like what port is allowed to talk our traffic on, so the incoming port that we should allow, and then the outgoing port that our traffic will be going out from. So this is the those security groups configuration and all, access control list, whom to allow, whom not to allow, that goes into this section. Okay, and finally this the internet gateway. Okay, so this, what it does, the main purpose of this is going to be allows our public resources in public subnet to access the internet. Okay, let's say like I'm just illustrating one example. Let's say we wanted to pull the public Docker image. That's where this internet gateway is going to help our public resources to achieve this. Okay, so that's the purpose of this internet gateway. So maybe at high level I might have missed something, but these are the high core components of our network section. Okay, so the next is the main section is the compute related. That's where the core application logic and everything, the application layer stuff resides in. Okay, so let me just have in here this as the compute components. Okay, so in here I just wanted to again break this down into multiple subparts. In here, the main part, it's always going to be the application load balancer. So the application load balancer, it's going to help us manage the traffic flow to our different availability zones that we are going to have. Okay, so that particular server or application will not be burdened with heavy traffic, so it takes care of equally distributing the traffic to the target group that will be creating. So in our case, and also I forgot to mention, so this I'm just going to leverage this AWS ECS infrastructure to get this thing done. So everything will use the elastic container services. Okay, so that is where we'll be deploying our whole NextJS application. Okay, so yeah, the component I just spoke about was application role balancer. That's high level, that's the duty of that component. Okay, and again the security group, so already I spoke about this. So this is like part of the network access control list. Okay, whom to hello, whom not to hello. Okay, at high level I feel these are like the core components that we should be making a part of our infrastructure that we'll be using to deploy. Maybe yeah, I think I gave enough theory or the things that we'll be using to deploy. So now let me just walk you through high level deployment architecture. How is it going to look like, and help you pictorially represent this architecture. And later down the line I'm going to showcase this in real time, how to deploy this and how to convert this the architecture into code level and get this thing done in real time. Okay, so first let's say I just wanted to draw in here this overall okay, so this is the components that we discussed. Okay, so I can just showcase this. Okay, let's just go to the canvas mode just now. Okay, so in here let's say this is going to be very standard. Okay, what happened? So yeah, let me just refresh. I just want it to be, let's recreate this again. Okay, so this, let's say this is the boundary layer of our infrastructure. Okay, this is going to be nothing but, let's say we wanted to completely isolate our application from the internet. That's when we create our VPC, which is nothing but the virtual private cloud with certain reserved domains. Okay, in that CIDR range, whatever we specify, classless enter domain ranges. Again, that will be divided into subnets, or we can also name it as availability zones. Okay, so to be specific and more precise, let me just add in so just press slash on your keyboard and then go to let's say, since here we want this VPC, so I'm just going to select in here VPC. Okay, so to highlight this is the VPC boundary or layer of that. I'm just going to use this icon and let's just write this as VPC section. Okay, fine. Now let's try to draw two availability zones. Okay, so this, assume this is one of the region that you're creating in AWS. Okay, it can be of US East region and a US West, or in any specific region, whichever is closer to you. Okay, so let me just have this one of the availability zone. Okay, so to better differentiate, I just wanted to have this as the dotted box. Okay, and to just replicate the same, to just press Ctrl D on your keyboard. Okay, so fine, and this is replica of the availability zone, kind of as a backup, as I just mentioned to you. Okay, so this again I'm just going to use in here the location logo to just maybe specify this as the availability zone or the region that we are trying to put on. Okay, so this is the availability zone we can just think of. Okay, so I'm just going to add in some text in here. Okay, so for now let's say this is going to be availability zone. Okay, so I'll be using US East region to deploy this. You can use any region. Okay, so let's say this is like, one of the availability zone in this US East region. So let's yeah, I'm just naming this as US East 1A. Okay, so I'm just going to copy the same. Okay, and let's do this, paste here, same thing, but this is going to be different zone. So let's just give this as US East 1B. Okay, so yeah, now we have this availability zone in place. Okay, like I mentioned again, we will have the public subnets and private subnets. For multiple private subnets, let's say one for your application, one for DB, or one for your external services that you're using as part of your application. So let me just draw that thing as well. Okay, so here let's not have this as dotted. Okay, so I'm just going to have this. Okay, this is like, let's say one of our public subnet. Okay, so same thing I can just use in here as well. So we can just give the name for this. Okay, so I'm just going to give in here the name, this as something like public subnet. Okay, and let's just take an example of whatever the CIDR range that we are going to have. So in my case, I'm just going to give here the example of, let's say this is going to be our range of our public subnet. Okay, so maybe I can just bring this down so that there'll be enough space in here. Okay, so fine, looks good to me now. Okay, same thing, I can just do the same for this zone as well, except that we can just change the range for this. Okay, so let's say we are fixing in here the address as 2.024. okay, so whatever there will be a lot of IP addresses that will be having for us. Okay, fine. Now this is the public subnet again. In this will be protected by our security group. Okay, so I can just have that indication in here as the security group. Okay, so I'm just going to draw this here. I just don't want this dotted line again, so to highlight this as something like security, I'm just going to not fill this. Okay, here the color, I just wanted to indicate that this is kind of like the restriction that we are applying. So I can just give this as security group. Okay, and here let's just give in here the text for this. Okay, so I'm just going to name this as the security group layer. Additionally, inside this subnet. Okay, fine, that is the security group. And now this is where our NAT gateway comes. And also I just wanted to add in here firstly the internet gateway. So this is going to be the entry point in our virtual private cloud. So I just wanted to highlight in here. So this is going to be our internet gateway, which is going to help us our public resources to talk to internet and vice versa. Okay, so let me just mention what is this. So this is going to be this internet gateway. Okay, so yeah, let's just align this. Fine, and here I can just have this network access control list again. Okay, so kind of whom to hello, whom not to hello and all. So I'll just use this. See here, this is going to be the network access control list. Okay, this is what the internet gateway will be talking to first to restrict the people who we have set. Okay, so I can just let this the flow. Okay, so this is going to be the two-way. Okay, so fine. And also this, so it's going to be the vice versa. Okay, the two ways. Okay, as I said. And let me just give the name for this. Okay, so this is going to be the network access control list. Fine. And this in turn again will have a load balancer which communicates to this network's list. Okay, and then talk to this internet gateway. Okay, so I can just have that this load balancer as well. Okay, so this is the load balancer. Okay, I can just give the name for this. So this is going to be the application load balancer. Let me just give the title. Okay, so this is the application load balancer, and we have this public subnet. Okay, and now let me just I just wanted to duplicate this. Okay, so I can just choose it here. This is going to be the private subnet. Okay, so here let's give here the name for this as the private. Okay, and the list of the IP ranges that we want to assign. Okay, fine. I'm just going to explain you more when we are converting this pictorial representation into code snippets. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, and okay, I think I should have copied this. Okay, fine. I'll just I can just remove this part. Fine. Yeah. Okay, so this is the security group. I can just take this, or else I'll just write it away. Okay, so this is going to be the security group. Again, additional layer of protection to our servers. Okay, and I can just have in here the EC2 instances. So basically this is going to be on our EC2. Okay, or else I'll just have this as application. So here let me just take the EC2 icon. Okay, fine. So let's say we have in here the application. So I'm just going to give in here some representation for this. Okay, and the name for this I'm just going to give in here the name as the application. Okay, same here. Let's just, this is going to be layer 7, our application layer. Okay, and now this load balancer is going to talk to our applications servers. Okay, so this I can just have it in here. Okay, and it's going to be vice versa, two-way communications. Okay, so this is the communication, how it happens between our load balancer and applications. Okay, and I can just have this flow. Okay, so this is going to help us talk to network access control list, and then this goes to the internet, the people who is asking. Okay, and as I said, we want the way for our public subnets or resources to talk to internet. Okay, that's where I'll just add in here this network NAT gateway. Okay, so here I can just add in here this NAT layer. It has to sit in our public resources. Okay, so I can just give the name for this as the NAT gateway. Okay, fine. So I can just be more specific and mention here as the egress only, something like this. Okay, I'm just going to and this is going to help us talk to the internet, whatever you say. So I'm just going to specify this. Okay, fine. So at high level, and again we can have the same let's say I'm just going to copy the same thing. Okay, in here. Okay, this is going to be pretty much the same replica of whatever we have. Okay, so the same thing. So this is also will have the applications, whatever the code, the main code base or logic that we have. Okay, so I can just write in the same text here. This is going to be the app. Okay, and I'm just going to give in here this as the additional layer of security group, just a replica of whatever we had. Okay, and again this is going to be the same, so you can just copy this. Let's just add in the communication between this load balancer and our app. Okay, and this is going to be the two-way communication, so I'm just going to specify the same in here. Okay, fine. And additionally the additional layers that comes into picture in here is, let's say we wanted to have in here the another private group where we have our I'm just going to reduce this size. Okay, so this is where we will have one more private subnet. Okay, let's say we have a DB or the other ready server or whatever the payment services or related stuff like that. Okay, we can just have it here. Okay, so I can just copy the same. Okay, let's just do the same in here. Okay, so this is going to have here, let's say 12 as a fixed, and this is going to be 1B availability zone. Okay, and in here let me just have this. Okay, the security group again, so I'll just add in here. Okay, so same thing in here as well in this availability zone. Okay, so again this can have the different range. Okay, so I'm just going to address this. Yeah, maybe this is, I'm just trying to convey you the pictorial representation. Maybe my it can look as clumsy, but understand what is it that I'm trying to explain here. Okay, so in here, let's say this is the private subnet or resources for our, let's say in our case here, DB. Okay, so we can just let's say this is going to have your fixed ranges in this ranges. Okay, and this is going to be the security group, again I can just no need to specify because you should have understood it by now, the architecture. Okay, so this is going to be the security group again, so I'm just going to replicate the same. Okay, so in here this one as well, so let's just change in here. So this is going to be one region, and I'm just going to have this. Okay, at high level, and also here I can just specify in here that this is going to help us talk to our private resources internally. So I can just have this. Okay, okay, so same thing, let's just to this resource groups. Okay, so basically this NAT gateway allows our public resources to talk to internet and get things like I illustrated in our case. It was like let's say we wanted to access public images, and this is going to help us get that, and then this internally can communicate to our private resources because we have this network access control list which allows the traffic from this public resources to this private resources. Okay, so at a high level, this is how the architecture of let's say some application deployment it's going to look like if he is restricting the application to single region. Okay, I just try to be as collaborative as possible. Maybe this would have conveyed at least the gist of what I'm trying to explain. Okay, so this is how we split into multiple availability zones and make sure our application's availability is as high as possible. Okay, now you saw the at least the high level architecture of our deployment. So in the following video I will convert the each component here that you're seeing on the screen into each module, and then we will incrementally take it from the picture to the code and see it in real action and see that live once we complete this application. Thank you, stay tuned, and this is going to be very interesting, guys. Once you learn this deployment, you will understand and you will have a grasp on the standard template that is being followed in the industry to deploy any application. This might be specific, and also to deploy to take as an example, I'm going to take our resume builder application as an example for this deployment video series. Okay, so that you'll have an understanding. I think it's been quite a days that you guys have been asking for deployment video, so that's why I have come up with this generic deployment template which is going to be helpful. Thank you so much.